I am now live on Facebook, so I had to turn the music off. Welcome everybody to today's live stream, today's radio interview, radio live, radio podcast, because this will also be put on the podcast. So today's topics are, yes, I am live, Trina. Yes, I am live. Let me text her back and tell her yes. Yes, I am. I am live. All right, so today's topic is on understanding digital real estate. That's number one. Number two is city states and their crimes and possible solutions and what is and are in place today. And the pipeline. Some of you may have heard about the pipeline. Some of you have not heard about the pipeline, but the pipeline has put a halt on the economy, and I will be getting into that of the power of what truckers are doing. So let's get into digital, understanding what digital assets is and digital real estate is in the first place. So I tried to share this before. I don't know if anybody was paying attention to me, but I'm going to say this. You should be paying attention because things are happening in the digital industry. Some of y'all have, I missed the .com. Okay. I missed the Bitcoin. It's still here. It had a downfall, but it came back up. And now we have this cryptocurrency, which includes a lot. But there's something going on in the high-tech digital world. And then I'm going to be giving you some examples. Hold on, let me do this first. Let me see if Facebook has me limited yet. Let's see, what can I do? Will Facebook give me the access I need? I don't know. Okay, if you're tuning into this live stream, I would appreciate if you would share the love, share the broadcast, share the love. Greatly appreciated. Okay, that's as far as I can get. Wow. All right, that's as far as I can get. So let's start off with understanding digital real estate because it encompasses a lot. So digital real estate is anything that exists in a digital format, keyword, digital format, and it simply means you have the right to use it. If you don't have the right to use it, you cannot do nothing with it. And an example I'm going to give you this. Take the musicians. Take the musicians. They create their music. They are creators. They have a right to their music. Their music is in digital form. It's in physical form, but it's also in digital form. So anytime you, me, and anybody else go and duplicate their music and put it somewhere else, and there's a profit behind it, that musician loses out. So this is just an example. In September, see if I got my date right, September of 2018, the Music Modernization Bill was passed by Congress. What does that mean? That means that the owners of their music have the licensing rights. because they are the owners of that music, regardless if it's in digital form or it's in physical form. That's one example. I'm gonna give you another example of digital real estate. Let's say, and everything I'm giving you is factual. It's not hypothetical, it's all facts. There was I believe a soldier that has transitioned, and his family members requested Yahoo requested that they have access to this soldier's Yahoo account. Yahoo said, no, we're not doing that. So it ended up in probate court. If y'all see me looking at it this way, that's because I'm looking at the software for the radio. Yahoo said no. It ended up in probate. The judge told Yahoo to give the family the emails, but they did not give the family access to the soldier's account that had transitioned, that had died. So these are some examples of what is digital real estate, okay? So let's move on to types of digital real estate. And because technology is constantly evolving. Wait a minute. I messed up. Hold on. Messed up with the electronics. Hi, Trina. Hi, Camille. And that's all I can see, but thanks for tuning in with me. I appreciate that. So I'm going to give you types of digital real estate. And when I give this to you, I want you to think, am I an owner? Do I own some of this stuff? Do I have the rights to this digital real estate? Then I'm gonna give you some more information of metadata. Okay, so this is just an introduction and understanding, because I already know most of y'all gonna miss it. You're gonna miss it, and then when because it's rising now, it's increasing now, it's blowing up now, and some of y'all are still not paying attention at all. But you're going to be one of the ones that's on the sidelines saying, well, damn, I didn't know nothing about that. And the truth is, you heard it from me, but you wasn't paying attention because you didn't think anything of it. So I'm going to go into this because you're on Facebook, you're on TikTok, you're on Snapchat, you are on Haps, you are on Instagram, and all the other social media platforms that's out there. All those platforms is considered digital real estate. And you're on it. So let's go into the types of digital real estate. I know some types, but there were some others that I did not know that was under the umbrella of digital real estate. So I'm gonna tell you what the assets are. The assets is going to lead into somewhere. If you have a website, that's an asset. We do this all day long. Asset. Text messages, asset. Emails, asset. Word documents, asset. PDF documents, asset. Ebooks, asset. Audio visual media, asset. Photos, assets. Logos, assets. Illustrations, assets. Animations, asset. Anything you create and you are the owner of, and it is in a digital format, you have created a digital asset. Question is, what you gonna do with it? Other than post it up on social media for people to be scrolling by. Just scrolling by. There's things you can do with digital assets. You are the owner of it. You created it. And what are you doing with it? I'm gonna leave that up to you. Presentations, digital assets, digital paintings, digital assets. Now let's talk about the categories that these digital assets can go in, or either they fit in. I gotta watch that, y'all. Gotta watch that. Education. Y'all should know I'm gonna go with education first, because I am an educator. Medical is another one. Hospitals have already started moving over into the digital assets. They have something called the super bill. First time I heard that word was about 5 years ago. And I was like, what is that? And it was because they had changed their system over to this new system. Like I said, it was like 5 years or more ago. And all I kept hearing was the word super. Super what? But it was the super software that the hospitals are now using. If you pay attention, the next time you go to the hospital, most of the doctors have a what? They have a tablet. Everything that they need to know as far as your medical records that's affiliated with a hospital is on that tablet. Super highway, everybody. Technology is changing. Next category, voting. Voting. That's another category. Reputations. Ha! We all have a reputation. If you are on the internet at any given time, whether it's for personal or business, commercial, residential, you have a reputation stake on the internet, on the World Wide Web. You have a reputation. And believe it or not, your reputation is out there. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, let's start off with this. When you signed up for any social media account, what kind of information did you have to give up in order to get access and be a subscriber to that account? You gave up your name, you gave up your birth date. Some people gave up their occupation. Some people gave up their address. You gave up your phone number, depending on the platform it was. So now you are a subscriber of this social media platform. So what's next? They know what you like. They know what you don't like. They know what websites you visit. They know what you type in. They know what you share. They know what you delete. That is online presence reputation. That expresses a digital imprint on you. So if a person like me, because it's public information, a person like me wanted to do I'm gonna say a sponsored ad, and I wanted to use any social media to include YouTube, I can narrow it down to who I want to target based on gender, based on occupation, based on lookalike, based on how much money you make in your household, because they know that too, based on if you're married, based on if you have children. All that is public information that we give to social media platforms. And I'm sure the ones that know about this are the people that do sponsored ads and people that are considering doing sponsored ads. But for the everyday average person, you probably don't know how much information we can get from social media accounts to target you for what it is that we are promoting. Digital real estate that is owned by these companies. Now, let's take it a step further. Because you gave this information to these social media platforms, do you own it? No, you don't. They do. Their platform, they are the owners because you put the information on their platform. Pictures that we all post of family members. And I gave you an example of the soldier that had transitioned and the family member wanted access to their soldier's account. Yahoo did not do that because they own it. Anything we put on social media, on these platforms, they own it. Digital imprint, reputation, digital imprint, categories we are on. Next is friendships. These software, social media platforms know who we like, excuse me, and they know who we don't like because they know who our friends are. Why? Because it says friends. And every time you block somebody, that gives them an indication we don't like them. We don't want to be friends with them on that social media platform. So they know who we like. They know who we don't like. Friendships category, digital imprint. Next is conversations. They know what type of conversations we have with our friends on Facebook. How do they know that? Facebook Messenger and then the other social platform that's out there that has Messenger attached to it. They can see our conversations, digital imprint. Every time we post something, digital imprint, that's having a conversation, which allows them to control the algorithms. If there is a lot, hot tip, if there is engagement, let's say for instance, you post something and you got engagement on your post, depending on how much engagement you got, they may or may not show the responses, what you posted. That's the engagement. The more engagement you have, the more the algorithms will show you stuff. I don't know what happened here. Let me see if I can get it. The more the algorithms will show you stuff. Thank you for the heart, love, and the thumbs up. Appreciate it. So keep this in mind. I've given you categories. All these categories are fits into assets. So let me give you an example of a digital, of a category, and I'm gonna give you an example of the asset. And I'm gonna go with something that people use and do on a daily basis. So let's start off with conversation. Category, conversation. Here's your digital asset that goes with that conversation. You created a post. Post was whatever you posted. It could be a picture that has text writing in it, but you created the post. Someone responds to that post. This is twofold. One, it's in the category of conversation that you created. That's number two. It's also an asset. If you are the creator and you are the owner of that asset, it is yours to use. You have the right, you have the license to use it again. As long as you didn't do no plagiarism. And if it's not yours and it belongs to someone else, did you give credit to the rightful owner of it? Something to think about. So it's twofold. Category, conversation. Asset, if you are the owner and you have the license and the right to use it under the digital real estate depth. Other people see what you posted. they start engaging with you. The algorithms are watching. The algorithms are watching. And based on the amount of engagement you have on your posts, the algorithms decide, do they want to share it with your friends? Because Facebook is a closed-in system. Instagram is an open system. YouTube is an open system. LinkedIn is a closed-in system. I hope y'all understand what I'm talking about when I say open and closed. Hopefully you do. If you don't, let me explain it. Facebook, you are only connected to the people that are connected to you. You allow them to be your friend. You may have reached out and requested somebody to be your friend for whatever reason it may be. So anything you post, only your friends are going to see it. Depending on how much engagement you get, the algorithms may or may not let you see it and let them see what you posted, and vice versa. And vice versa. May or may not. I hope y'all understanding what I'm saying. Digital imprint. All right. So once that happens, engagement, algorithms. Why do you think today, with some of the algorithms, we see things 2 and 3 days later? If we're seeing it 2 and 3 days later, that means there wasn't a lot of engagement on what was posted. If you see it within a day or a couple hours later, there was a lot of engagement, and the algorithms allowed you to see it. Digital imprint. All right. Next, I want to discuss, it was something else on here that I want to discuss. I have all these bullet points. I don't want to, I'm gonna hold that for later, but I will say this. When it comes to digital assets, there is limited control over digital assets. And the reason why there is limited control is because our government has not slammed the book, not yet. They're trying to get a hold of it, but it's not under total regulation yet, especially with what's happening with the metaverse. Whole different topic. NFTs, whole different topic for another day. But this is just to give you an understanding of what's happening with digital real estate. If you own any of the things that I previously mentioned, what are you doing with them? If you have a website and you posting your stuff, what else can you do with that website? I want y'all to start thinking outside the box. If you created a PDF document, what can you do with that document? Think outside the box. If you are a graphic designer, you is sitting on a gold mine, especially with what's going on in the digital world. If you are a graphic designer and you know how to do different things in graphics, illustrations, you is sitting on a gold mine with your skill. I suggest that you think outside the box of what you're already doing so that your butt can be on the ship and it doesn't sail by you because you missed it. You're sitting on a gold mine if you're a graphic designer. And I'm gonna just leave it right there. If you have any artistic skills, you are sitting on a gold mine. considering what is happening in the world of technology. It is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. Don't sleep, everybody. Please don't sleep, because it's happening. And it's been happening. I'm gonna share this with you. It's been happening. When I did the research, it's been happening as far back as 2013. And guess what? Things was evolving. I almost missed it. This goes back as far as 2013. What were you doing in 2013? Things have been evolving, and they're still evolving, and they're getting better and better. Super fantastic, awesome, and getting better, evolving and evolving and evolving. And it's going to continue to evolve because of the way things are being structured. You want to make a change in what you are doing? You want to make a change in your lifestyle? You want to make a change in your family? You want to make a change for the people that you love that's less fortunate than you are? Start paying attention. Everybody needs somebody that they can help. Everybody is not as fortunate as you are, regardless of what level you are on. There's always going to be somebody that don't have. They are less fortunate than you are. And they may be family members. They may be close friends. But these are things, if you're paying attention, you're in a position to help them. Digital real estate. If you own a piece, think outside the box. This is an understanding. This is not a class. It is an understanding of digital real estate, digital assets, categories. This is not a class. I put the class out there, and I'm gonna say this. I put the class out there. I posted it. How many people signed up for it? That is with me on Facebook. You engage with me on certain things I post. But y'all are bad too. Y'all are very bad. When I post constructive stuff that's going to benefit you, stuff that's going to inform you, stuff that's going to empower you, stuff that's going to educate you, y'all don't engage with me. Some do, some don't. Some do, some don't. There's a saying, some will, some won't, some will, some won't, so what, move on. And that's exactly what I do. I move on because I want to reach the people that's paying attention. And when I put up stuff that's like, I share stuff that's from other people, and it's ghetto, it's ratchet, but it has a message. Oh, y'all engaging with that? I don't get it. Inspire, empower, educate, key, 3 gems, empowerment. So this is how come I'm giving you this information, so that you have some understanding. So when you finally get it and it finally blows up in your face, you have some type of understanding of what I was talking about on this day. Okay. The next I want to talk about, the next thing I had on the schedule was cities and their crime rate. We all know that the crime rate is up. Some cities have came in the top 5, in the top 10. And it's because of weapons, guns. I say weapons, that's just the military in me. But guns, slang term, civilian term. And you have organizers and churches advocates, organizers, advocates, and churches that are doing things in their communities to try to decrease the crime rate, especially the homicides. You have organizations that is also doing things in place to decrease domestic violence. All of that. One of the things I want to talk about is something that I saw on TV. Y'all know my stations. And you have, and these are very successful programs. Very successful programs. However, I'm going to say something about them. There are churches and organizations that have put things in place for our young Black men and young Black teenagers to give them a second chance at life other than committing crime in the street, whether it's with guns, whether it's with knives, whether it's robbing people, whether it's knocking people upside their head while they in the course of that person's daily activities. And what they've done was they created, and I don't know how far this is going to go, they have created programs that lead into these young men being productive citizens in their city states. And some of them has started working. In other words, jobs was created for them, or this organization connected with a company that was willing to give these young men a second chance by offering them a job. Now, I know here, for people that live in the city of Philadelphia, I know at one point, like last year was the first time I saw this, our mayor, not mentioning no names because y'all know who he is. You know what? Hell with it, I'm gonna mention it. It was written, because it's public information, it was written in the paper that Mayor Kinney was pushing for free college tuition at community college. However, there was some guidelines. Guidelines were you had to be within a certain demographic to get free education. And I discussed this with a friend of mine, and the response I got, they had a point, and I'm gonna tell you about the response. Anyway, it never happened. It never, to my knowledge, it never happened for a specific group of people here in the city that fits this demographic to get free education. My question would be is, how that school gonna get their money back? If any school allow free students to come in to get free education, how the city is going to recoup their money? Because remember, nothing's free. I want y'all to think about that for a minute. Free attracts a lot of people who don't want free. So if a person stands a chance of getting free education at any school and is backed by the city, any city, how is the city going to recoup the monies that they put out? Like, what's the agreement? What's the policies for this to even happen? How is the city going to get their money back? And let me tell you something. No city wants to be broke. They want to make money too. If they're giving up something, they want something. That's just life. So when I discussed this with a friend of mine, they said, oh, they can get their money back by increasing the taxes. That makes sense. So if it would have went through, that means that the residents of that city, their taxes is going to go up, but they didn't have no children that fit the demographics to get this free education, but they're paying for it. And I'm just putting this out there, they would be paying for it if the city went up on taxes. And the person that I was talking to, I had to think about it for a minute. I'm like, that makes sense. How else are they going to get their money back? Increase the taxes somewhere on those city residents. Next, I wanted to, let's talk about other possible solutions. Other possible solutions. Okay, the advocates, the churches, the organizations, they are doing great things for our young men. And I think there's a couple organizations that's working with our women and young teenage ladies. Let's take this a step further. What else can they do? What else can an advocate, can a church, can an organization do? That helps that one individual. That's great. But how about helping their whole family? What could possibly be a solution to helping the entire family, which leads into creating a legacy for that family, which leads into everybody being employed somewhere, which leads into the betterment of that community? That's thinking outside the box. That would be my solution. That is my solution. My idea, my solution. So don't just help one person by giving them a job. That's great. How about helping their whole family? Why not? I'm just saying, putting my my outside the box thoughts in place. I'm an out of the box thinker. And lastly, before I go, let's talk about the pipeline. Some of you may be aware and some of you may not be aware, but goods, how can I say this? Goods is transported, products, goods, manufactured, transported to different parts of the world. At the ship, at the, what do you call it? The ports where they come in, and maybe they go on trucks. So let's stick with trucks, because that's who crippled an economy, and it had to do with the vaccine. So here are the details. Canada says any trucker from the United States of America is required to be vaccinated. Other words, they can't deliver the goods to the Canadian consumers, to the Canadian economy. And because Canada put that in place, no truckers, zip zero, can enter Canada who have not been vaccinated. So what did the truckers do? The truckers crippled the pipeline. They did a blockade, y'all. If they can't go in to deliver the goods that's on their trucks, which means, oh, thank you, sister. Which means that if goods and consumables and whatever else is on those trucks cannot get in, how those truckers are going to get paid? They get paid for the delivery of what's on their truck. And because they can't get in to Canada to deliver it so that they can get paid, the truckers decided, we'll just block the pipeline from the United States to Canada, because Canada put a policy in place. No trucker from the United States of America can enter Canada that has not been vaccinated. What did that do to the Canadian economy? It crippled it. People over there need what's on those trucks. They need what's on those trucks. We're talking about consumables. We're talking about anything we need in everyday living, essentials, is on that truck. It's on the truck. Do I blame the truckers? Probably not. But it is what it is. Because this is what it has came down to, unfortunately, and it's very ugly. Very ugly. People choose to be vaccinated, and then you have those who choose not to be vaccinated. And those who choose not to be vaccinated, companies, maybe some cities and some states, take for instance, Canada, who will put things in place for people that's not vaccinated. Is it fair? I don't know. Is it right? Because there's a difference between right and fair. Is it right that companies do that? I don't know. But because of that, and you have some restaurants that have put those policies in place. Either people who are not vaccinated get sit in one area, and people who are vaccinated sit in another area, or people who are not vaccinated cannot eat in that restaurant. Is any of this right? Does it make people who are not vaccinated think? Like, if a person chooses not to get vaccinated, yes, they have that right not to get vaccinated. But who did they listen to make a decision of not getting vaccinated? Who was you listening to? What validation do you have other than listening in the beginning of COVID to what was put out in the media? I don't know. That's a personal decision, a personal right that everybody has. And we're going to be in this for the long haul. As long as this exists, the vaccinated, the unvaccinated, as long as this exists, we are going to be here for the long haul. Is it right for the government to say mandatory vaccination? I don't know. I got a whole lot of I don't knows today. Maybe y'all can help me with some of my I don't knows, because I don't always have the right answers. Sometimes I don't have no answers. And this is one of them. Is it right for the Canadian government to put the stipulation on American truckers to not enter Canada because they're not vaccinated? Is that right? Do you think it's even fair? Do you think it's right for what the truckers did? They stopped the freaking pipeline from America to Canada. Do you think that's right? Do you think it's fair? I know what I think. I'm okay with the truckers blocking up the pipeline, because they still got to pay. They still have families. They get paid on the delivery of the goods. That's how they get paid. On the delivery of the goods. And as long as those goods is not being delivered, those truckers can't support their families. They can't eat. They can't pay their bills. Delivery of the goods is how they get paid. What did Canada do? Stop them from delivering the goods. Now they can't get paid. But at the same time, because Canada put that into effect, And the responses to the truckers, well, we'll just cripple the economy. And they did. I will keep you updated on the results of this. I'm sure they're still not, I hope that they still are not out there, and the Canadian government has came to some type of resolution with our American truckers. So that's my time, everybody. That's what I wanted to share with you. Thank you for tuning in with me. I know Wifey was here. I know Camille was here. Facebook won't let me see everybody that has tuned in. And for a while, Facebook had blacked out on me. I don't know why, but it did. And I had to log back in real quick. So that's my time, everybody. Tune in with me. I am the host of the Let's Talk with Carolyn radio show on Sador Radio. You can tune in with us on Sador Radio by downloading the app on your Apple phone or your Android phone and type in Sador Radio. Icon to come up. Nice little bright blue icon. Download it, tune in with us. We have music, we have comedians, we have talk shows that goes on 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Tune in with us. But most importantly, I want you to tune in with me on the Sador radio station. I am your host, Carolyn, of the Let's Talk with Carolyn radio show. I will see y'all on my next live stream. Take care, be safe, and take heed to today's broadcast, and please share. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye. Radio Land, thank you for tuning in with me. I will tune in with you next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, Eastern Standard Time. Adjust your time zone. Thank you for tuning in with me. And I will see Facebook later. Take care, Facebook.